Which Social Security numbers to use when you're doing your retirement planning projections? Scott writes in, hey Josh, I was playing with the Social Security Administration tools again, and when it occurred to me that the numbers I'm playing with are in two different realms. Payments in today's money and payments in the future value, which is when I'd actually be starting. So when calculating on one tool, I get values in today's money. But if I use their projected indexes for my eligibility date at age 62, I believe the outputs are in future dollars. Exactly. In other words, if I look today at taking my Social Security at age 70, using my current figures, I get $3,300 a month in today's dollars. If I look at the projected indexes at age 62, I get a very different AIME and PIA, and my benefit goes up to $4,050 in 2030 dollars. And I wouldn't start for 8 years after that. Hitting on the head, brother. It's not surprising that the values change, but my question is, which input into the various tools do I use for projected Social Security benefits beginning at age 70? I've been using the today's dollars numbers, but I think the 2030 might be more relevant since the cost of, coal increases would start at that time. If I use today's dollars in the tools, the index changes and cost of living adjustments okay, exactly. All right, so that is 100% right. So, I mean, people make this mistake so many times, Scott. They'll say, look, I got, we'll use a 4% rule. I got $100,000 in my account, and I expect to grow at 7% a year. So in 10 years, I'll have $200,000. So if I had 4% on $200,000, I'll get $8,000 a year. But my Social Security says I'm getting $2,000 a month. So that's only... What was that? 24,000. That's 24,000 plus 8,000. That's $32,000. Oh no! That Social Security is in today's dollars. It's not adjusted for inflation, the cost of living adjustments, or the indexing amounts, which we don't know what the numbers are going to be. So when you look at your Social Security statement, it says, assuming that you earn the same amount of money until your normal retirement age at 66 or 67, and that's it. It just says in today's dollars. And so if you use those numbers, you are completely discounting how much you're going to have on top of the fact I've talked about before about the cost of living adjustments. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a huge mistake, and one I readily admit to making myself in the past a long time ago when again, I think it was another insurance guy on YouTube. See, this is why I like insurance guys for financial planning more so than I like investment guys. Insurance guys know financial planning because they know they have to sell you something. Thus, they better be good at their financial planning so they can sell you something. Look, and I don't mean that disparagingly. They know their business better than investment guys. So if you're looking at future projections and you're looking at for your investments and future projections for income, and you're looking at Social Security today's numbers, that's a freaking wrong answer, dude. Because future projections should be both. They should be future projections inflation, future projections investments, and future projections Social Security. Or they should be used in today's. I got $100,000 in my portfolio. I get 4% of that and get $4,000 a month or a year. I get $2,000 a month according to Social Security and today's numbers. But it says, if you keep working until you're a normal retirement age. Yes, but it's giving me that number based on today's numbers, assuming that I continue to work. So it's way off relative to what it will be because it doesn't have the cost of living adjustment, doesn't have the inflation indexing, all that. And we have no idea what your full income is going to be. But at the end of the day, that's the best you can do. You can say, okay, I'm getting $2,000 a month. My Social Security statement right now says I get $2,000 a month if I continue to work at this current income until I'm 67. I got $100,000 my 401k. I can take 4% a year off that. That's $4,000. And inflation, you don't even have to worry about inflation because you're using today's numbers. So in that case, I get $24,000 from Social Security. I get $4,000 from my portfolio, so I'm getting $28,000 a year in income. Can I live off $28,000 a year as we sit here today? That's literally all that matters. If not, you say, okay, let me inflate all these things, which is inflation. So if I need $30,000 a year in income today, I need that, we'll say $60,000 later on. My portfolio, if $100,000 today, it will go to $200,000 if I get 7% a year. My Social Security, when I go to the earliest year of eligibility, which it indexes, I can say how much my benefit will be then if I continue to work till I'm 67, adjusted for inflation and the index rates. And again, that's not considering cost of living adjustments either that go with it or the delayed earnings credits. It's simply inflating it based on the average wage index, but it's not using it's not using delayed earnings credits or anything like that. It's just saying based on this stuff, your earliest year of eligibility, if you work until then, your previous indexing years are XYZ. They don't know what your future indexing are going to be or the cost of living adjustments. So they are making some assumptions there, but is an assumption that's forward looking, which means that is what you can use. But you have to use all three of these things together. Inflation, income adjusted with inflation that you need, expenses, that you need. You have to use that. Plus you have to use future Social Security benefits and future portfolio amounts as well. You can't use one or the other, then you're wrong. And unfortunately, I think a lot of advisors do. They say, "Oh, you're only going to have $2,000 a month in Social Security, but you'll need $30,000 a year in income." You're like, "Yeah, but you haven't adjusted Social Security with inflation." All right, that's a good question, Scott. Hey, I hope this helps. Thanks now.